You need to offer more than competence. Jacob Rees-Mogg slates Tory election campaign. Exclusive. Jacob Rees-Mogg has slated the Tories' election campaign as he revealed the disastrous outcome was a repetition of history which could easily have been avoided. The Conservative MP said the run-up to the snap election in June was reminiscent of Stanley Baldwin's 1929 campaign, which saw the Tory leader lose his majority, leaving Labour to form a minority government. What happened to Mr. Baldwin, who was Prime Minister twice before that, bears striking similarities to Theresa May, who called the election to gain a larger majority, but ended up losing it. Although Mrs. May won the election overall, her campaign, including the strong and stable slogan, was also incredibly similar to Mr. Baldwin's. Mr. Rees-Mogg explained. You need to be offering people more than just competence. Jacob Rees-Mogg, the Oxford education historian, told express.co.uk, we should have read, which I foolishly did it after the election campaign, rather than before. The history of Baldwin's campaign in 1929, which was all about Baldwin and trust Mr. Baldwin. It was based on the slogan safety first, almost identical to what we did, and he lost, we didn't, we just about won. But it's interesting how history repeats itself, and safety first in its variants doesn't inspire people to get out and vote. Tory candidates, especially those in target seats, were told during the campaign they needed to focus on Mrs. May being the Prime Minister and not local issues. An insider for a candidate who lost their swing seat angrily told express.co.uk they were directed by Conservative campaign headquarters, CCHQ, to stick to that directive, and emphasise how bad it would be to have Jeremy Corbyn running the country instead of Mrs. May, who would get a good Brexit deal. They were told to focus on her as leader over everything else, and were given specific addresses to go and talk to, with most being Tory already. CCHQ whittled down target addresses to just 4,000 a week before the vote, with campaigners having to walk past other people's doors to knock on the target doors, which could number 2 in an entire street. A couple of weeks before the election, candidates were told CCHQ was dropping the strong and stable mantle as it was not working. However, Mrs. May continued to use it. Mr. Rees-Mogg, who has been MP for the safe Tory seat of North East Somerset since 2010, said he did not understand the strategy, and went ahead to knock on every door he could. He said, you need to be offering people more than just competence. What was our message for business people? What was our message for someone wanting to buy their first home? What was our message, even for somebody going to university? It was all, we'll manage things competently, but it's all rather difficult. While things might get a little better if you're patient and try hard, not we're going to build lots of houses so you will be able to buy a house before you're 102. That we're going to ensure we create the environment where setting up businesses is easier, and we're not going to hit the self-employed, we're going to make it good for the self-employed. Oh, and by the way, Brexit is a grand opportunity rather than this great millstone we've placed round our neck. We were just too safety first and no broad. Summing up, Lito Crosby, the famed Australian campaign expert who won David Cameron his premiership, was hauled in to run the Tories' campaign after Mrs. May called the snap election with just 2 months to campaign following the disastrous result for Mrs. May. Critics hit out at Mr. Crosby's tactics, saying he treated voters like fools and relied on voter fear. When asked whether Mr. Crosby should be blamed for the Tories losing their majority, Mr. Rees-Mogg said, I don't know, it didn't work. There's not a lot of point in singling out individuals. That's something we have to learn from. We should spend more time on history. We should have learned from 1929 when we made the same mistakes. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and don't forget to subscribe English News Hub for new excited videos.